Morning and welcome to our fifth grade music assembly. As this assembly approached, I couldn't help but think of a book I'd recently read. That book is called Echo by California native Pan Munoz Ryan. Winner of the 2016 Newbery Honor Award, Echo pushes the boundaries of genre, form, and storytelling. It is ultimately a story of bravery, tolerance, and kindness. It also reminds us of how music transcends generations, cultures, and how music is a language all of its own. A language that echoes every human emotion. Now please join me in welcoming Mrs. Gonzalez, Mr. Coyne, and the fifth grade band.
Good afternoon, good morning, excuse me. I'm so used to doing this in the evening, so it's a little bit different for me. My name is Mr. Coyne, and this is the fifth grade beginning band. They've been playing approximately since September. So this last few months or so, we've been exploring our first 5 or 6 notes, and the students have been practicing really, really well. I'm sure you're very aware of that at home. That first piece was Oh Susanna, and now we're going to feature each section. We're going to start with the trumpets, and they're going to play Shoe Fly. Trombone and baritone. Our next group is percussion, and they're playing syncopated robos. Our next group will be conducted by Ms. Sue Shisley.
Good morning. The flute class is going to play Ode to Joy. Turn that over to Mrs. Gonzalez right now.
The next section you're going to get the privilege to hear is the saxophones. And they will be playing Royal Scepter. They wanted me to say what I usually do in class is Royal Schnepter, Skepter, Flepter. So I'm giving you all that. They wanted that, so there you are. But it's Royal Scepter. And the final feature group will be the clarinets, and they will be doing Farajaka. They'll be doing it two ways. They'll be doing it all together, and then they will play it as a round. I hope you enjoy. We have one final full band piece for you, and it's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but it has a few twists. It has some harmony parts, and it has, some of you parents I'm sure have heard multiple times, the obligato part. And you probably have it ingrained, I hope some of you have it ingrained in your brain because your children have been practicing it so much. It's a more challenging part that moves a little more quickly, and some of the students really took on the challenge seriously, and they are going to be playing that along with us this morning. If you are playing the obligato, would you please stand? And I believe most of the percussion is also, correct? Okay, so please enjoy Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. This will be our final piece this morning. I love that kind of response from an audience. That's fantastic. You are wonderful parents. Thank you. You know, these students in this band right here started these instruments this school year, and they have been working really, really hard. And I am incredibly proud of each and every one of them for what they've accomplished. Playing a musical instrument is not an easy thing, and they have taken it on with a positive attitude and hard work that I've come to expect from Viewpoint students. We're going to take a minute to reset, and you can hear the band quietly, elephantly walking off the stage. We had to talk about, you know, walk quietly, don't clank things, but you know, they're 5th grade, it just happens. But I get the privilege of just talking to you for a couple of minutes while we change the stage and get the strings up there for their performance. And obviously, I am very passionate about music. It's my career choice. I've been involved in music from when I was in 4th grade and have just always loved it and been passionate about it. And one of the things I love about teaching music is that it develops our students' creativity. It really works that part of the brain, and there's research that shows that this is absolutely true, that playing and performing and practicing music is like brain workout. It's like a full brain workout. It uses every part of the brain when they do this. And if you look it up, there's a TED Talk on music and the brain. You should look it up. It's a really good video, little cartoon video, cute, that talks about the research that's been done. But what I love is the creativity aspect of it. Because if you think about the people in every single field who are the front runners, the people who are the best at what they do, they're the creative thinkers. If you're in business, if you're in sales, if you're in the arts, if you're in music, any field, in science, in mathematics, the creative thinkers are the ones who can think outside the box, if you will. The ones who can come up with solutions to problems and answers to questions that are different than anyone else has come up with. New ways of doing things, a way of providing water to third world countries, clean water, drinkable water, things like that. Those are the people who have creative mindsets and who are able to think in ways that most people haven't thought before. And music develops that creativity, and that's one of the reasons that I'm very passionate about students learning and working on music. Now, one of the aspects of music, my sister and I both played clarinet when we were in school. And she always told me, discipline creates freedom. And I hated that. Because what she was saying was, you gotta practice in order to get better, was basically what she was telling me. And it is very, very true. And I wanted to bring up, if he's in here yet, is Mr. Wynn here? Mr. Wynn, come on up. Can I get this? Oh, wonderful. Okay. Matthew Wynn is one of our saxophone players, and I wanted to ask him a couple of questions about practicing, because he practices a lot, I think. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. So when do you practice typically?
So I usually practice when I get sometimes home from school when my parents are not doing anything or my sister's not doing anything. So I just do it to get myself better at playing the saxophone.
Good. About how long do you think you practice typically? Like what's
Typically, maybe a little more, like about 20 minutes.
About
maybe.
20 minutes? Okay. Do you have a place that you practice?
Yes, I practice in my room.
You do. Do you have a music stand or do you put it on your bed? Or
I have a music
you
stand,
have a
so
music
it helps
stand?
me a lot.
Does that help? That's useful.
Yes.
A useful tool, huh?
Yes.
Have you always practiced? Have you always been passionate about making sure that you get that time in?
Yeah, sometimes I can't because I have stuff to do, but I try.
You try. Good. That's wonderful. Well, it shows in your playing. You play really, really well.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. I appreciate your help. So Matthew and many of our band students practice a lot, and I can tell that they do because when they come into class, they come prepared and they're able to play their music. I was not really, I can't believe I'm admitting this, I was not really a practicer in high school. Sorry. I just had a knack for reading, so I could read the things that was put in front of me in band, so I just didn't really practice. I just kind of floated. And I regret that, because then I went to college and I thought, well, I want to be a music major. And I went to college and I realized, oh my goodness, there's so much more I need to know. And then I started practicing. I started practicing an hour a day, I started practicing 2 hours a day, and I started really enjoying it. I mean, at first, you're like, oh, I hate doing this. But the more you do it, and you start realizing the benefit of it, and how you're getting better, and you're having more fun playing, and you can do more things. And then I started practicing more and more, and I got better and better, and then I went on to get my master's degree in music performance and woodwinds. And the more you practice, the better you get at it, the more freedom you have. You can be more creative with your instrument. You can play things more accurately and more beautifully. You can stop thinking about the fingers and express something musically, express an emotion, which isn't that really what music is? When you get down to the nitty-gritty, music is about expressing something. It's about saying something. It's about expressing an emotion or a mood or a feeling or a setting. That's why we have music in movies, because it sets the scene, doesn't it? I mean, when you watch a scene in a movie with no music, it doesn't have the same impact that it does when you add the score in, and it has that musical aspect to it. So, please encourage your children to practice. I know it's hard, believe me. I have a 9-year-old, he plays violin. It's hard to find the time to make him practice and to have that set aside time. But if you do it, I promise you, your child will enjoy their instrument more, they will become more confident in their playing, and then more confident as a whole, and they will be able to really accomplish greater things with their instrument, and it helps them overall in all of their classes and in all of their education. So, that's my speech. And I think we are just about ready for the strings. Are we ready for the strings? Just about? Okay. Just about. I hear them yelling, just about, almost. So, let's see, what else can we talk about? My favorite performance of my own, I'll tell you about that. I was playing a concerto with an orchestra, and I was doing it from memory, which you don't have to do, but I, being the bold person, wanted to. So I'm playing, and I'm going along, and having a great time. It's this great musical experience, and then I reach the end of the phrase, and then I forget the next line. Huge audience, big orchestra, I'm stuck. So I stood there, thought for a minute, improvised a little, and then remembered the next entry. It was probably only about 4 measures of music, but it was the most terrifying moment in my life. So, there you go. I think we are ready now for the strings. I really appreciate your time, and parents really do appreciate you supporting the music program here at Viewpoint School. Thank you so much.
Good morning. This is the 5th grade string orchestra. Most of them have started playing their violins, their violas, cellos, basses. Since September, we've been working on holding the instrument, holding the bow, producing a beautiful sound, playing in tune, basically notes, learning to read the notes in the key of D major, using the notes on our D strings and the A strings. But we also have a set of students who have been playing their instruments a little bit longer than a year. They've been playing it for either 2 years, 2 years or more, coming from the Suzuki program and or the traditional strings program. We also have a few of those students who are part of Primo Orchestra. And they are represented in our first violin section, our principal violist, and our principal bass. And what we'll hear them play, what's beautiful is that our beginning strings will be playing pieces that are in unison, so we've been working on playing in tune and playing as one sounding instrument, whereas we add an extra harmony part for our advanced strings, so you'll be hearing 2 parts harmonies as we go along. This particular piece, called Lightly Row, is, well, I call them featuring the cellos and the basses, but everyone's going to be playing Lightly Row. The next piece we will play for you is called Seminole Chant. I'm going to ask our violas to stand up because the viola instrument looks a lot like the violin, but it's a little bit larger. It has a lower string. It does not have the E string as the violins, but it has a C string which it shares with the cellos. But right now we'll have our violists play for you, or we're all going to play with them. Seminole Chant. The next piece we'll play for you is called, Caribbean Island. Yes, our violins, our beginning violins are going to play Caribbean Island. I mean, I'm going to ask them to stand up. We're going to play with them. But I believe you also noticed a wonderful instrument that's a cousin to the string family, our little harp. Miss Harp, would you please share a beautiful glissando? What a special privilege to have our harpist playing along with us. So, Caribbean Island is going to feature our beginning violins, but you're also going to hear us playing octaves. A high note, that's a D, and a low note, that's a D. But the rest of us are going to support our violins in playing Caribbean Island. The next piece, which is called Arcato, will feature our advanced strings. Like I said, they've been playing their instrument for at least 2 years or more, 1, maybe 2 years or more. This piece features left-hand pizzicato. So will my advanced string players please stand? And my bow, ma'am, why don't you just wave your bow? I know. The first song that every instrument learns is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And how many different ways can we play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star? But what's real fascinating is that the kids, you know, just continue to add something new to that same song, and they still remain interested in it. So, yeah, our final piece is a variation of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But these variations do hold an importance to them, to me, to all of us, because it allows the kids to listen closely, to work to listen closely, and to also try to play together and sound as one ensemble. And that's been our goal with the Twinkle variation, which we call Mississippi Hot Dog, and then we'll play the theme. What's also very special about this is that our concert mistress, Miss Annabelle Canon, is going to be playing the introduction, leading us into our first variation and our theme, and that will complete our presentation to you.
Boys and girls, you were wonderful, all of you. I am in awe. I've always wanted to play an instrument. Oh no, you're going away. But you have learned so much in such a short few months. I just wanted to give you a quote today. Samuel Johnson once said, "Great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance." And you demonstrated your hard and persistent hard work today, and Perseverance is the secret to success. So congratulations on your success, boys and girls. Our music department is also pretty remarkable, so please join me in thanking Mrs. Gonzalez, Mrs. McLeod, Mr. Coyne, Dr. Alvarez, and Mrs. Shisley. Boys and girls, just know your parents, your teachers, your administrators, we're all so proud of you today. Before we dismiss, I would like to have the boys and girls put their instruments away in their cases and then visit with your parents. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for starting our day so beautifully.